Hi, this is Dustin. In this video, I will show proof for No More Genocides Part 7 with today's science and technology for real Star Trek with credible resources in the description. My background: I have two master's degrees, and I've completed my PhD degree except the dissertation and instead wrote a book that is free on Amazon based on Yara Shahidi's hypothesis given in a speech at the Gleason Respect Awards on October 19, 2018. The hypothesis is that prevention will lead to equity and that equity will lead to equality. This is a non-profit channel, and everything said on this channel has a reference in the description. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Okay, let's begin. In the pilot episode of Star Trek Enterprise, they said no more wars by 2151. Since wars are needed to do genocides, then this means no more genocides too. Propaganda promotes genocides because of the dehumanization. Let's solve genocides. In Star Trek Enterprise, in Season 4 episodes Babel 1, United, and the Aranar, it shows that humans are the friendliest species in Star Trek, and this leads to cooperation between species to form the beginning of the Federation. Even though this is fantasy, in real life, humans became the most dominant species on Earth by being the friendliest. 100,000 years ago, humans encountered 5 other humanoid species: the Neanderthals, the Sivians, and Homo erectus, etc. Humans evolved a new way to be friendly, and this led to a new form of cooperation, like empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is feeling compassion, like, I am sorry you are going through this. And empathy is putting yourself in another person's shoes, like, I'm here for you. Empathy is a deeper feeling than sympathy. When the prefrontal cortex lights up under a brain scan, or where your forehead is, then these emotions appear, showing that this person can see the other person by listening and understanding the other person in front of you. With apathy, there is no concern, and this shows under brain scans that the prefrontal cortex, or your forehead, doesn't light up in a brain scan. This is considered object thinking and an us-them mentality. This means this person has more feelings for an object than a person. When object thinking combined with propaganda, then this can lead to genocides. What do we do? This video shows ways to deal with object thinking, but past videos have talked about ways to solve propaganda. This is a form of preventative psychology. More of an exploration on this is in the description. I will keep with empathy, sympathy, and object thinking to make this video simpler. What I'm proposing as a solution to genocides is empathy and sympathy training, so that people can engage with others from 2 years old to graduation to get rid of object thinking for good. In order to do this, we have to learn about babies. Babies as young as 3 months old have empathy and can determine morality. They can see who is mean, who is nice between human interactions. It is like survival instinct we are born with, in a way. Now, we know that humans are capable of this type of sympathy and empathy training. Next, we have to define and learn what makes us human. We begin with Leimana Plus. Leimana, Leimana, is a Hawaiian name that literally means a garland of spiritual life force energy. But for this context, Leimana Plus is L equals Latinos or Latin Americans, E equals European Americans, I equals Indian Americans, like on the country of India, M equals Middle Eastern Americans, A equals Asian Americans, N equals Native Americans, or indigenous Americans that live here, A equals African Americans, and it also includes little people Americans, physically disabled Americans, mentally disabled Americans, transitional gender Americans like transgender, transsexual, intersex, non-binary, and two-spirits, or who you want to become, generational Americans like Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z, etc., mixed race Americans, albino Americans, religious Americans, and cisgender Americans, like biologically assigned sex, like man and woman, and heterosexual Americans, being attracted to the opposite sex. This is Leimana Plus. or the world of humans in one word. Once Leimana Plus is implemented in schools, then the easiest sympathy and empathy training is reading books and watching movies on Leimana Plus. Psychology studies show that reading fiction can build a human's care for different groups of people who they might not care about. Reading a novel is like going to the empathy gym. When humans watch movies or read books, they feel what the character is feeling or going through by recognizing the emotion from their own experiences. Even though humans recognize that the characters in books and movies are make-believe, the person following in the story mimics or mirrors the same trauma or joy that the characters of the story are going through. This is why movies and books have been so popular throughout time and are universal across cultures. Now, when people were reading novels that had slave narratives in the early to mid 1800s, like Uncle Tom's Cabin, then the reader was brought into a world that amplified the humanity of the enslaved and by extension were deserving of freedom. The empathy that people felt from popularized slave narratives drove them to political acting like the abolitionist movement. Books and movies are that powerful. Since this video is getting too long, then I will add more to another video. The last thing for this video is monitoring the students' empathy and sympathy from 2 years old to graduation with the most advanced technology we have. Advances in neuroscience have shown that brain activity could be identified and analyzed by basically having human brains and thoughts read on a type of MRI scanner called an fMRI or functional MRI. Scientists are saying that this technology has made possible for the first time to see the physical makeup of human thoughts. Scientists can now identify in the brain abstract ideas like gossip, forgiveness, and spirituality. Even in different languages, the brain patterns are the same of each abstract idea, and in this case, abstract thought. Scientists can also read emotion given off by humans as well, like sympathy, empathy, and apathy, or object thinking. Each emotion is the same in every human's head. This means the computer can read the feelings of all humans and every mammal on the planet, because we're all mammals. This is because all mammals, including humans, have the same limbic system or emotional center in the brain. Another technology that can help is artificial intelligence. As said before, an fMRI machine can read a person's emotional center of the brain. Now, scientists can stick a person into an fMRI electrode-free, and the artificial intelligence language models can interpret that brain information by reading the person's private thoughts. In other words, the scan and the AI are mind reading a person's private thoughts. Scientists can translate a person's brain activity or read different blood flow changes within the brain into a continuous stream of text. This text corresponds to what researchers can determine what people are thinking. The scientists were so amazed by the precision of the mind-reading experiment with the AI and the fMRI that they decided to test their mind-reading experiment on the AI in a portable scanning system called the Functional Near-Infrared Spectroscopy. By avoiding a bulky device like the fMRI, this portable scanning device could be used in a person's everyday life by tracking a person's brain health with everyday focus and mind wandering. The scientists found out that they could get the same level of precision with the AI and the portable brain scanner as they did with the AI and the bulky fMRI. In other words, everyday mind reading may be possible by using devices that humans might have in their everyday lives. In preventative psychology, a counselor could read a child's mind if they weren't able to express a traumatic event in their life. In this way, the counselor could help the student right away in order for them to heal in a healthy way. This technology could be used to help a child achieve empathy if they're having difficulty with the Leimana plus population. This technology, as with the fMRI, by reading emotions, can help students in many different circumstances with prevention. As with any technology used on any student, it will be reported to help in any situational problem the student has. This technology is really powerful at reading people's thoughts, and this is why so many precautions are taken so the child can feel safe and learn. Lastly, if teachers, psychologists are having a hard time with the students or a student achieving empathy or sympathy, then it might be a self-control issue. As said before, the prefrontal cortex or your forehead is needed to engage with other humans to avoid object thinking and to produce empathy or sympathy toward other humans. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for planning and controlling human impulses. For example, researchers scanned 41 murders and showed they have poor prefrontal cortex activity in their brains or in their forehead, or their forehead doesn't light up right away in a brain scan, or this is called object thinking. This shows that violent offenders have poor levels of self-control. Researchers can increase the activity in the prefrontal cortex by 30 to 40% by stimulating that area of the brain to reduce object thinking. Now imagine all the students in America and around the world having access to this technology at school and working with their teachers, with Leimana Plus students in their empathy and sympathy classes. If all the Leimana Plus students are interacting, working together, and understanding each other from 2 years old to graduation, and then students will encounter these same Leimana Plus adults again in the business and work worlds. When the familiarity of Leimana Plus adults come into the picture, then the empathy and sympathy training will turn into friends, working partners, clients, employees, and employers, which with each side knowing each other well without objective thinking. In the end, this video shows that the easiest way and the most advanced way to train humans in sympathy and empathy in order to see people to end genocides. This is not hard because we have the science and technology to make it happen today. This is real Star Trek. Being the friendliest helped us out 100,000 years ago and against other humanoids, and this time is no different. We have it within ourselves to do this. We have it within us as babies do. We just have to bring it out more with training in schools to be friendly to one another and to finally get rid of this crap like genocides and object thinking and propaganda. It is within us. This is the end of part 7. Live long and prosper.